Alright. Here are your 5 current Frenzy bosses. Here are their counters, or their buffs that they're going to throw on you. I have now currently defeated every single one of these bosses at least once, and I've used the event deck. Every boss on here, with the exception of one, is weak against the event deck. The 2 of us that have the Ultra form get absolutely 0 power reduction against these bosses. Flatline. Of course, the blue we get 10 times, but everybody else is flatlined. The only boss that is not weak to the event deck is Indel the Dark Star. He is actually weak against the last Green Slayer event deck. So you would need Alfonso the Elf on your team to be able to get the damage increase. That's why he seems to be the hardest to kill out of all of them. Now, so for Slazy and myself, the best option that we have is just to take out the mushroom head dude for every single one of these and replace him with someone or something that counters every single one of these particular buffs. So I will bring up a list of options of what I have for each one, and that is what I'm currently using to be able to take off those bosses. We will be jumping back and forth between this screen. For the yellow one, Indale, I and Slazy are not worrying about anybody because the Master Collection card from the Giant event that we have been using the last 2 Green Slayer events is a Warden Slayer, and he dispels Fear 9. So Fear is the last thing him and I are worried about. But for you guys, everyone else, we will look and see what we got. Now, at this point in time, I'm doing anything that dispels fear. Just, it doesn't matter. Counter skill. Fear. So, while it does say that Blossoming Alliance and the Master Collection card in this particular one will get rid of fear, it only will remove fear on occasion. It will dispel fear. It's not going to do it every single time. So this card right here, actually, since it dispels 9, you're guaranteed to never get hit with fear. So if anybody has any of these type of cards in their inventory, you have a very good chance of not having fear put on you or being able to help remove fear. Even this Warden here at a 4-star dispels fear higher than what it can cast. And I understand it may not exactly be a card that you want or need, but just having it somewhere on your deck, taking out, and for example, my weakest card on this deck that I need is the Mushroom Head guy. Just removing him and putting something as simple as that weak Warden right there will allow the fear to be canceled out and these 4 cards to be able to do all the work. So we'll try and go to some other people. And see what you were able to. So already your Master Collection card here shows Fear. You have Swine Lord. Those are your 2 options. Even having both of them on there, if one misses it, the other one has a chance of being able to dispel it. Same thing. And actually this one would be a better option because it's going to dispel Fear higher than it's going to cast. I know it takes away from your attack, but if it prevents you from getting hit at the same time, that's kind of a really good option. He's got a very large selection of cards, so I should probably start using him a little bit more. So he has a warden that'll do it. So any of these cards on here that you see are capable of dispelling Fear. Okay. Next one is Relentless Toxin. This one's actually very easy for Slazy and myself. This is actually going to be one that we're going to rather enjoy having. So for us, we're going to use Arcane Heniga. This is, as you know, Cedar and Akbar are giants from a particular Slayer event quite a while ago. That is the support card from that particular event. And it passively creates Earth Gems every time you attack, and it dispels Toxin. So, kind of gives us 2 little bonuses. It's also a green Slayer, so it goes great with the deck. Obviously, the event card from the last Red Commander, you can throw that on the end, and that'll help dispel Toxin. If anyone has the Mouse King, the Mouse King would be the best choice for Toxin because you're guaranteed never to get hit with it. A Warden will always be your best bet to never, ever, ever get hit with it. So these are what I currently have that will dispel Toxin. Okay. Again, he's got Arcane Heniga. He's also got a Master Collection card that'll do it. Again, he's got a green Warden. Unfortunately, it's a commander, but it dispels it high enough that he'll never get hit with it. Again, just some options. This kind of gives you guys an idea of how to check your own decks as well to see what is the best options. Next one is Gem Silence. There's a difference between Gem Silence and Power Gem Silence. Gem Silence stops any gems from being put on the board, period. Power Gem Silence stops you from making power gems. Each one has its own benefits and downfalls. So we'll go with first one we'll go with is Gem Silence. So as you see, I don't really have great ones to choose from. In this particular instance, I just throw on Entropy because he is a warden and he is guaranteed to keep Gem Silence off of me at all times. Wrong one. Again. There we go. He has Entropy as well. Not maxed out like I have, but still, it's going to counter it completely and will not cause him any issues. Another warden that'll be able to do it. Here's a green warden. And it'll be high enough that it'll prevent it from happening. And it'll give him a little bit of nuke attack. If you want to try it with the blue deck and use Cupid T arrows if you have him, that's more power to you. Next one is Power Gem Silence. This one works great because I'm using Mazerwawu, whatever you want to call him. Not only is this a green card, which will go with the deck, it'll also allow you to throw the green commander on there, which will give you an extra power gem. But this card is also a power gem spawner. Helps you out. This card does not hit very hard because it is a commander and it is getting no extra value. But it does dispel power gem silence. As you see, I have no wardens that dispel power gem silence. None whatsoever. That's twice I've done that now. So he has the same one. And he also has another one he can use right here. This one is another green commander. Again, not going to do as much damage, but his tank will put 3 Power Gem 4s on the board. So that would probably actually be a better deal for him. Yeah, that would definitely be a better deal for him. And then lastly, you have Blind. This is the one that keeps messing with everybody. So, Blind. Very nasty counter. So, I have quite a few cards that'll do this. So you have a few options. If anyone has Fennec still, Fennec does great. Dojin. I know this one's Ascended, but even regular Dojin does just fine. Actually, Dojin can remove Poison and Blind from enemies, so that's just one of his counter skills. Any of the legend bosses, any of your legend cards can do this. As you can see, any of the legends can. I have quite a few of these cards actually that do blind. I'm very surprised. For me personally, though, two from the same event. Wow. So, yeah. So currently, in this particular situation for blind, again, I'm going to use a Warden. I happen to have the Jade Dragon. So I'm guaranteed never to get hit with blind. Works pretty well. And we'll see what you have in the way of a counter skill for blind. So again, you have Dojin. Even better, you have a Warden right here. Counters blind. So it also will heal. So it's another healer for you during battles. So that'd be a good one to be using. %400 recovery is 400% recovery. I don't remember what this particular one does. Heals 5% max hit points every time you every turn, so it's going to constantly heal. So that wouldn't be a bad little thing to add. This one will also create 5 Earth Gems, so it'll help put gems on the board too. That's kind of a good idea as well. Again, you have, it's the wrong color, but you do have a Warden that'll do it as well. This is a Slayer card, but it's not high enough that I would use it because it only is going to counter up to existing of what it's casting. You're not one higher, so your chances of getting hit with it are better. But yeah, so you have Dojin would be a good option. Bubble Blue, which is probably who I would use for you, or this particular card right here. Those would be my two options I would use for fear. Yeah, that is what I've discovered is working quite well with the frenzy bosses. And so I just got to pay attention which one it is, pop it open and change out one card, and good to rock and roll. So hopefully that helps everyone. Again, there is your frenzy bosses, and that is your counters. Remember, the Master Collection card or the Ultra Rare or the Ultra Form are powerful against every single one of them except for Indale, the Dark Star. And that one requires either the Ultra Rare, which I can't remember, the Leading Light, I believe is what that one is called, or Alfonso, or that particular Ultra Form card. If these are not working for you, you guys can try your colored decks to use against. But this is what I have found is working for me so far. So, good luck to everyone.